Hello, friends and lovers. What's up? It's Haelian. What's going on? So we got a lot to talk about today, but first let's start talking about the run. We're going to take an aspect of Zag for the rail, which is not an aspect you'll see me or probably most people use very often, just because typically once you got Eris unlocked, you just always run aspect of Eris. But there is one particular hammer that works especially well on Zagreus, and it's really only just this one hammer, and that's going to be spread fire. So you want that bonus ammo capacity in this instance. Nevertheless, Eris is probably still okay. We got Artemis's keepsake on because we're going to want her attack boon or even dash boon potentially. Here's our mirror setup for the run. Pretty stock and standard. We're going to try to play quickly because this used to be an old speedrun meta from way back in the day. Let's get the run started. Kind of a typical speedrun setup we got going on here. If you're going for in-game timer, you don't want tight deadline on in case you get a survival room. And let's go. I did find a seed where we know that we get spread fire offered at the start here, just so you know. Because I'm not submitting this to the leaderboards or anything like that. This is really just for fun and to kind of show you the power level of these different things in the game. But yeah, I just want to make sure we start with the thing that we need, right? So spread fire, your attack deals 40 base damage in a short spread, but you have -6 ammo. So if you didn't get that bonus ammo from aspect of Zag, you'd just be reloading so often. It wouldn't feel good. Is it horrible? The other thing is that's kind of anti against what you usually do with the rail is the fact that you'd really want like Artemis or Afro on the attack for the most part with spread fire, but every other rail build essentially wants Zeus, or maybe Dionysus, or maybe even Ares, or whatever. You wouldn't want like a Artemis or Aphrodite if you're running this aspect or Ares aspect usually. Anyway, let us begin. It's been a long time since I've touched this aspect. I didn't know we had a Chaos Gate here. Lovely. I do still have the DPS mod in the bottom left. So yeah, we want dash attack boons because we're going to be doing a lot of that. Ooh, Chaos ain't offering that. Or attack from Chaos as well would be helpful. I'll take either, or I'll take none of those also, I guess. I guess we'll take rarer boons. I don't want other enemies. I'm going to try to play quickly in a speedrun style, but I make no promises about how fast it'll actually be. Kind of a rough start with that Chaos Gate just not being great. Tried to crack that pot. So yeah, you can still kind of hold down the button. Please, hit it. There we go. Hold down the attack button and then just dash around while you do it. So I'm holding down the attack button here. But if you keep dashing, you'll keep kind of firing, and you fire a little bit faster if you dash as you go. And that's pretty much spread fire. It can be pretty powerful. It can be. You do need a little bit of help from different sources. Okay, what do you got? All right, I'll just take an epic dash for now. That's pretty good anyway. Into a palm sounds beautiful. So yeah, that's going to be the basic build. Dash strike for now is fine, and we hope to luck into Artemis's attack boon as well if we can. Settle for Aphrodite, maybe even another god if it's a high enough rarity next opportunity. All right, don't get me though. Plus dashes would be good here too, just to get off more dash strikes now. All right, Afro will probably accept if it's a decent rarity on the attack here. We'll see. Oh, I missed this guy. Woo! But yeah, this used to be the speedrun meta way back in the day. Talking early access timings. Yeah, good enough, I guess, right? It's good enough. We can't get Heartrend with these two boons alone because the dash doesn't count toward Heartrend, which makes sense because it has nothing to do with crits, right? Oh, please, no more witches. Anyway, we gotta talk about Hades 2, the big news. In case you somehow missed it. Hades 2, we just finally got some news a couple days ago about a possible launch window for ourselves. Q2 of 2024 is the time that we were given. Later than I expected, to be honest, but I'm just happy that they were transparent and have given us some kind of insight as to what's going on, essentially. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pleased. I'm very happy. They did say there would be a technical test also in Q2 leading up right before, assumedly, right before the early access begins. If you're curious about some of these things, it's not worth spending a roll here, really. Pause buffer. There's the shop. Ooh, really slow. I looked at the timer and I was like, ooh. Dio. Fill the god pool. We have Ares. Yeah. Strong drink or the call? I think strong drink this early. I think strong drink when we still have all the fountains in front of us, basically. It's close, though. So yeah, Hades 2, we know. If you're curious, it's going to be early access, as they said, when it first comes out. So it'll only be on Steam. It will not be available on consoles during early access. They, you know, companies or publishers or developers or whatever you want to say, they just don't do that. I mean, it just doesn't really work easily. Ooh, yes. Okay, 92% dash strike sounds pretty good. Only a small downside, really. I'll take another palm. 7% or 14%. Okay, no question there. It was probably the attack either way, just because you can't always do dash strikes with that. Too bad we don't have that dash strike damage yet. It's okay, though. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty good, huh? Say good night. All right, good. Too bad the chambers were just a bit slow there. No, all we got was a couple chaos gates, which are usually quite good, but the rest of the enemy rooms just weren't great. Doop. Okay. What do we want? Moving on. I do have some speculations about Hades 2. A yarn? I don't think so. Directly in the dad's keepsake? We could. This is still actually pretty good to have. I'll even take that for now, but the rest don't make sense, really. It's just so cheap, and it can help keep high confidence up, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe it's weird. We'll probably put on Dad's keepsake later on. Change of scenery, at least. That money. So, Hades 2, what else did they say? Well, they didn't tell us much. They said Q2 we have the technical test for select players that are willing. We have no information on how to sign up, who can sign up, or anything, so I don't have any way to help you, I'm afraid. It's also possible that if you are part of the technical test, you will have to sign your life away and say that you will not show footage or screenshots or any of that stuff. It's possible. I don't know. That's called like an NDA in order to keep things secret until the time comes. I don't know if they would have them do that or not. Can't say yet. Maybe, maybe not. If I get access to it and they allow me to show it, of course, I'll be doing that 100%. No question about it. One dash? Let's try to do better. There's not a lot of other boons that we're looking for. Hyper sprint is also good, of course. Still just one dash, huh? Again, there's not a lot of other boons that are important, so I think this is going to be the most important thing. Yeah, 30% attack speed is really not good. Do we find out? It's just not good. Okay, let's continue. So they said, this was like, I actually got a little confused about this sentence, the way it was worded myself. They said in their update that Hades 2 will have as much content as Hades 1 did when it came to Steam. And it took me a minute to realize what they were trying to say there exactly. This is at the launch of early access for Hades 2 I'm talking about. And what they mean is that essentially Hades 2 will be further along in development than Hades 1 was when it launched into early access. So Hades 1, when it came to Steam, it had already been on the Epic Game Store for a full year. No shop, huh? Ew. Might as well. Yeah, it had already been on the Epic Game Store for a full year, so it had a full year's worth of content, and ooh, nice, 66%. I'll take it. More Afro. Mini bosses are often just faster than regular rooms. Okay, that's good. A little early here. Okay, we're good. So what did Hades have? Hades 1 have at that time when it came to Steam exactly. If in case you're curious, I'll try to answer for you. I guess I wouldn't want the special. Give me Dying Lament. Oh wow, that was the last chamber in Asphodel. Interesting. Pretty quick Asphodel so far then. Well, I mean, that's it. So give me the... Would I want the call? Well, I didn't get offered the call, so... So Hades 1 had just very recently gotten the final boss and Styx. So the final boss fight along with the Styx biome had very recently been added when it came to Steam. After that, it had probably a good amount of things. It did not have... I'm trying to remember. I think the fist weapon possibly was not there yet still. I can't quite remember, but I feel like it wasn't there. Ooh, now I can't... I'm not sure. It might not have been. It might have been. I don't think we had any of the hidden aspects, the fourth aspects for the weapon at that time. And we definitely did not have Demeter at all. She was not in the game. She was not an attainable god. We didn't even know Demeter was coming, for that matter. Because they had said prior to that Hermes was going to be the final god that they would add. Turns out they lied. But they surprised us and gave us Demeter. And there was a lot of dual boons missing, not just the ones from Demeter and the other and her corresponding gods, but between other gods as well. Ooh, am I selling something for that? Blood Frenzy does stink. More chaos. Do I swap the dad keepsake now? I'm low on money. I'm gonna be greedy and not do it. Kind of greedy. So we had the full, in other words, we had the full run layout one year into Hades 1 early access. You had all the biomes, you had all the bosses, maybe not all the mini bosses, I can't totally remember. You didn't have extreme measures, I believe, at that point in time. More attack damage, let's go, baby. I'm trying to think of what else they were missing. They probably didn't... actually, I don't remember if they had companions or not. The companion keepsake. So it probably sounds like they weren't missing a whole lot. I don't think they had the green side to the mirror even at that point, which might seem like kind of a big thing. Oh, wow. Fun options here. What's best in this instance? Targeting system increases how much damage they'll take from our attack, so I guess that we don't even have a special boon. It's still possible that, like, rocket or cluster bomb is better, though. So in other words, when Hades 2 does finally hit early access, you can expect pretty much a full game, but it just might not have the amount of variety that you have experienced in Hades 1 if you bought it after 1.0. So that's a good sign for people that are kind of iffy on the early access, because I've been disappointed by early access in other games before myself, too, so I can understand it. It's only 5% on the attack now. I guess I don't throw my roll out here. I probably don't buy that Nail of Talos either. Will I buy a palm? I think I'll buy a palm. Nope, will not buy a palm. Patty. Let's see, we'll take that Cyclops Jerky. Sounds pretty good to me.
Thank you.
We will take the mini boss though still. It's often faster than... Good night. So they might not have all the gods. They might not have all the hammers. They might not even have all the weapons, or at least not all the aspects yet when we do see Hades 2 first come to early access, but they'll have the general layout. So if you're worried about a totally unfinished game that only has like a couple bosses, a couple biomes, you don't have to worry about that at least. And I don't want Ares. Didn't matter really. So that'll be nice. It was definitely, if you're kind of on the fence on whether or not you want to do early access for Hades 2. I mean, if you're used to getting burnt when you do buy into an early access game, I can totally understand if you want to sit it out and just wait for the finished product. There's no harm in waiting. It's only the FOMO, you know what I mean? So That's the only harm of it. I guess, yeah, there's also the chance that you'll get spoiled a bit. In fact, it's almost certain, right? Because it's really hard to avoid all that stuff. But what I will say is that early access, it's not just going to be a matter of you experiencing the game as an unfinished product. You'll get to take a part in it. And so I definitely recommend it because I think that you will end up enjoying it for more reasons than just it's a good game, and it will already be a good game, I'm sure, at that point in time. But also the fact that you get to take part in the feedback, you get to see the game evolve. It's really fun how they tease out the updates, assuming it's going to be just like Hades 1, you know, and just the excitement leading up to those updates and everything. It's going to be a blast. 5%, 5%, don't matter. Yeah, I'll go that way. We didn't get our second Hermes yet, did we? Hermes! You are not Hermes.
Here's the fee.
Whatever. Not even gonna buy that, I think. So I'd recommend it if you're capable, if you got the means, you know what I'm saying? If come here, Sirius. Kind of flubbed a lot there. Woo! There we go. There we go. Not bad damage, huh?
Thank you for your support, my shade.
Not bad at all. Of course, there will be bugs in early access, as they do. As they do. Still didn't get our second Hermes. I'm still going to swap to the daddy keepsake here. Hopefully there's a Hermes on the door and sticks. Actually, yeah, and hopefully it's a mini-boss, too. Might not get that rush delivery like we so desperately rolled for, huh? At this rate. Anvil down there. Hermes is on the door, but not a door that we want. Come on, game. And I think that's about it for insight I can give you as to what Hades 2 will look like. For the most part. You know, the game was never that buggy. It was a bit unoptimized, I'll say. In that I had more crashes than I ever have before in my life after 1.0 in Hades. I mean, it was just kind of like if you wanted to be safe, you'd probably restart. If you were playing Hades in early access, your best bet was to restart the game after about an hour, hour and a half of gameplay. Otherwise, you would risk crashing in the middle of the run, unfortunately. But I mean, that's just part of it. It's like, I don't blame them for that. But it is something to warn people about, I think. Yeah. After that, there was never anything that horrible. And imbalance issues, let's see. Did I ever feel like things were horribly imbalanced? I don't think so. There was always like a pretty large amount of variety, and there's always going to be things that are stronger than others. I don't recall there being anything that horrible back in the day.
What is this stuff?
So yeah, I'm excited. Q2 next year. I can't wait. You'll still be seeing plenty of content from me on the first game and whatever we can drum up about the sequel.
What do I get?
Ethernet. And sack. Oh, what do you know? Here we go. Can we get a sub 9? It's going to be very close. I better not go to that shop. I'm kind of broke anyway.
The monster.
I have so much health. I don't know how that happened. Every time I do a quote-unquote speed run, my max health somehow is just enormous by the end, I swear. Oh man, I spent the whole time. I was supposed to actually also mention as of the recording, which you're probably experiencing this the next day, it was the 3-year anniversary of Hades. 3 years since 1.0 of Hades. Almost 5 years since I started playing the game, for crying out loud. Okay, we do have... Okay, whatever, daddy. Really wish we had gone on rush delivery, but I wonder if the dash is like I mean, in hindsight, the dashes are better, but I wonder if they were better to start, potentially. I don't think... No way we're getting that sub 90. No way, baby. Still got Meg, though. Please, please, please. I tried the dash ever so gently toward him. Didn't work out. Woo! There we go. There's our spread fire run. It's been a long time since I had touched it. Ah, fun build. Very fun. Kind of difficult to get going, though, because you kind of got to know that you're getting spread fire a little bit. Or you need to luck into the hammer before you actually lock in like the Zeus spoon that you'd normally take with the rail, right? Because you do not want Zeus with that. You want Artemis, you want Afro, one of those two probably. Put them on the attack. You can go for some dash strike damage, lots of chaos stuff as you can see there, but the damage was definitely good. I have no doubt about that. Where's spread fire, our goat? Oh, it's already on there. Never mind. Wow, look at all this juicy chaos stuff we got too, though. It's sort of like I said, it's sort of the one build with where Aspect of Zag for the rail really shines. So I'm happy it kind of worked out for the most part. The damage is definitely good. Is it up to the normal speedruns, the average speedrun standards, you might say, that we kind of hold to today? It's kind of tough to compete with that stuff. It's a bit outdated, perhaps, in that sense. But hey, I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you liked it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the Hades 2 launch. Are you gonna play early access or not? Are you gonna kick it in when quarter 2 comes around next year? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you somehow haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.